Okay, testing one, two, three. Well, this is a quick test video. I'm probably not going to actually upload the video part, just the audio part, and put up a logo, as I do sometimes. Because right now I'm not really feeling all this light and stuff. I actually want to go and rest. But I before resting, it occurred to me that I don't do videos for YouTube anymore, and I miss doing that. And most of it is just because I don't have the equipment to capture video games anymore, um, unless I played them on a Commodore 64, and I never really was a big gamer in the 8-bit days anyway. In fact, my thing isn't really games. My thing is education. And to me, education is all about how you express yourself. And so the only reason to do anything other than express yourself is to become better at expressing yourself. That's my basic philosophy. And so, I mean, I rest in order to be able to live better tomorrow. I mean, otherwise, I just probably, um, never sleep or something like that. But eventually, what will happen if you don't sleep is that your body breaks down and you fall into a coma or something like that. So, yeah, it's better to, take control of your life and sleep better. Um, you can probably hear that I'm fighting a little bit of a cold, so it hasn't really become symptomatic yet, and I just have the tiredness. So it's similar to Persona 3, where you get tired, and if you don't rest, then you get sick. So that's basically been my experience long before I even knew about Persona 3. But I think that's a good life lesson that they put into that game. So I mean, I don't agree with a lot of the other stuff in it, but I don't think you should really get your life philosophy from video games. I do think that you can see philosophies in things when you are a philosopher. So whatever. But above philosophy is culture, and above culture is leadership, because leadership is what creates culture, and culture is what drives not only philosophy but also business and politics. So above politics is culture, but politics, philosophy, and business, I think, are if the triad that come under culture. And every individual has their own culture or can develop their own culture, but nobody else can develop it for you. So that's why I think culture is important. I don't mean culture in the theoretical view, I mean culture in the practical view of developing it for yourself. And I've realized that I tend to talk a lot about this, but I don't actually share any of the recordings. Most of the recordings I've done are like audio only recordings that even I don't listen to. I try listening to it and I'm like, who's this rambling guy? He's just going on and on. Can't understand what he's saying. So yeah, I realized that I talk a lot. I talk really briskly and I talk in a unique dialect. So um, yeah, it's going to be difficult to understand. And my intent isn't really to communicate when I'm rambling on. It's more just to like clear my head. So it's more of a an aggressive thing than a communicative thing. Communication requires a lot of consideration for your audience. And when I did videos like gameplay videos, there was a lot more focus on considering the audience, even when I did voiceover videos. With the voiceover videos, I wasn't really too happy with those because I didn't think that it was as much fun as if I had done what Valis used to do, which is basically record the gameplay and then come back later and record the voiceover. That's also what Nakatalishi does, and a lot of LPers don't record their voice; they just put like a clip of gameplay, like Master LL, basically just imports games and plays them through, and he only uploads like the important parts, basically. So everybody on YouTube who's like a gamer type channel has that sort of cadence where they have their own style. And my style has basically been spending too much money on it and too much time and money on it. So last time I didn't have the time to do it, and by the time I had the money, and I didn't have the time, but then I never got as far as buying new equipment because what I found out is that I just wasn't happy with the equipment that's available, and I actually went into like a little minor depression about that. Um, But the thing about PCs and stuff is every 6 months something totally, well, every 18 months you're supposed to basically buy new stuff. So every 6 months at least there's gonna be something new and worth like tempting you to buy something. That's how the PC world is. You know, the PC world, which I would call the professional consumer world. I wouldn't call it the personal computer world. I don't think personal computers exist anymore, unless you take a computer and you personalize it. You know, and what I would like to see going forward is some of that again, the ability to actually personalize your computer, because that was never IBM's intention, and it was never Commodore's intention either. But they accidentally created personal computers. But what would be nice is to have computers which are intentionally personalizable and intentionally designed for individual use. Because this crap that we have nowadays, that's always updating from the internet and stuff like that. I mean, and always getting slower and slower because it's always done on a baseline of came out within the last 3 months is a good representation of what is wrong with society overall and why we need to follow that system and so on to talk about society going backwards. So anyhow, I can't really do anything to influence that directly, but what I can do, hopefully, is talk about stuff that I find interesting. If you find it interesting, that's cool. If you don't find it interesting, then that's all right. But you know, it might still be something to do and might still be something profitable. No, for the year so far, I've been working on a 5-year plan. Not because I think you need a 5-year plan, but because I think that trying to think long term forces you to see a world that is impossible for most people to see nowadays. For most people, the long term doesn't exist. You have no job security, you don't have relationship security, you don't have health security, etc. So in order to reclaim those things, you know, when you think long term, you have to think about, well, how you're going to make sure that you can secure your income, etc. And things like Kickstarter and so on are sort of like ways to get a massive amount of income in a short space of time, you know, if you're popular enough. But they also obscure the fact that simple budgeting and being able to manage money is a learned skill as well. And having a lot of money sometimes doesn't actually make your life a lot better, and or it doesn't necessarily mean that you're more likely to accomplish your goals. So I think I'm gonna probably review in the next series of videos a few things that I've done over the years that I've never really talked about, and probably explain well the difference between these little projects that I've done and professional projects. Because doing things as a hobby is one thing, doing a professional is something different. I don't think I'll talk about my current professional projects because you know they're not that interesting. But as they pick up, I guess I'll talk about them as well. Or I wouldn't really need to because it'll be more self-evident. And that's about it. So hey, you can watch cats or you can listen to me talk, or you can do both. You know, I'm gonna keep this video short, like 10 minutes or something. And they may be just like this rambling, or they may actually be like prescripted. I think I'll probably have a set of points and try to read according to those points. So I'm planning to release them every Saturday. This one is done like on a Thursday night. But I'm planning to have them up like every Saturday. So this will be like Saturday then number one. I'm gonna call them like Sad Saturday. Not really because I'm sad, but I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't call them Sad Saturday. Maybe I'll just call them Saturday something. Maybe that's a better title. Saturday something. Yeah, but the working file name actually that doesn't even say Saturday. I was so tired that I didn't even type it properly. It actually says something else. Oh well, typos are a sign that me with who's so precise at spelling needs to rest. So later.